It's a first for the channel. We're reviewing a beer by Track Brewery based in Manchester. Can this be another one of Rocker's favourite beers and favourite breweries? Check out the video to find out. Let's get ready to rock. Welcome back to Rocker's Beer Review. Today we're going to be reviewing this beer. It's Track. It's called Going to the Sun. Track's the brewery. They're based in Manchester. Now, I don't know that much about Track. I've seen them, lots of bottle shops. They do various different types. And I've heard great things about them and a lot about their beers. So I'm quite excited because we're trying a new brewery. And I must admit, I've been racking through those new supermarket beers from Morrison's and Tesco's, and forgot I've still got some beers left from the beer haul from the beginning of the month. So this is a bottle shop beer. I think about £4.5. It's an IPA and it's 7%, so it's pretty decent. And inside it, and I had a quick read of this before I started the review. And what was quite interesting was it's obviously got your malts and it's got your oats, but it's got jumbo oats. You don't usually see that. It usually says oats. So oats and jumbo oats. I'm expecting a nice, thick, nice, soft body and a real hazy sort of beer. It's also, the hops in it are Vic Secret, Citra, and Equinox. So again, not the normal sort of combination of hops, but 3 different hops. I'm looking forward to this, mainly because it's going to be brand new for me. So let's get this beer out of the can. And it's quite interesting because I've been drinking quite a few of the supermarket beers and I've sort of forgotten a little bit about the bottle shop beers. So it'd be interesting to see if this is a step up or if it is, or have the supermarkets got a step up. So let's get this beer into the glass. I already feel that I'm waffling on far too much. Okay. Let's see this beer in a glass. So beer in a glass. Probably poured that like an idiot. 3-finger head. It's lovely and yellow and hazy. The head is pretty, you can see that compacted there. Obviously the oats in there giving it nice and thick. The carbonation is moving quite out, but it's pretty much stopped. So let's get some aroma, shall we? Oh, it's quite interesting actually. A sort of a lot more of a floral, sort of flowery sort of smell. I'm getting them subtleness of melon again. Melon. I would say melon is the big aroma in that. Bit of pineapple. And also a little bit of orange, but not sort of, blood orange, tangerines, that sort of orange. Those citrusy sort of aromas, which I probably wasn't expecting from a 7% IPA. Let's have a taste, shall we? Get rid of some of this sort of head and maybe we can swirl it around and get some of those aromas out of it better. Yeah, that's very different than a lot of IPAs I've tried. It's so light though. There is literally no carbonation at all. It is that. Some beers you can drink. I'll take this pretty much out of the fridge actually. IPAs you should really leave 20 minutes just to warm up a little bit. But I've had this out of the fridge only about 5 or 10 minutes. And sometimes you drink these beers and you drink them and you think, oh, I've lost the flavours and the carbonation's there. It's quite sort of fizzy, gassy. But this, I mean, you can see the head there. It's beautiful. But you drink it and there's like, there's no carbonation at all. It's very low in carbonation. Very soft. Obviously the rolled oats has got a part to play in that. But the interesting thing is the flavours. So IPAs generally you get that sort of mango, pineapple is very common, but this a lot more citrusy. And there's a lot more orange. Orange is better. It reminds me a little bit of a more, it tastes so light. 7%. It doesn't. You would never know that was 7%. If you'd given me this without me seeing the can, I would have said, "Oh yeah, you give me a session IPA, 4.3%, something like that," because that's what it tastes like. It's so smooth. It's a really great beer, and you know what? It's great trying new breweries, trying new beers because you can get to a point where you're trying lots of IPAs and you sort of, and they start becoming a bit samey, and it makes it really, for me, it makes it really difficult to review. I'm not saying that they're bad at all. In fact, a lot of them are very, very good. But you sort of think, well, can I really, is there much difference between that one and that one? But this one's got something a little bit different. I'm still trying to analyse the flavour, but definitely there's more oranges in here. The softness of it, though, it's like drinking a sort of marshmallow. You know, it's so floaty. It's beautiful. It is absolutely beautiful. I'm really enjoying it. There is that orange, tangerines, not, you know, and a little bit of blood orange in there as well. And there's also that sort of melon flavour as well. And I'm thinking, I don't know if I've imagined this, but from my tasting notes through Beer 52 and the like, when I look at one of the hops in there, Equinox, I'm sure that has high characteristics of flavours of melon. And there's definitely that melon. That's that lightness. It's so light. And even the flavours are sort, you know, when you eat melon, it's almost like, have you ever been to a restaurant? Sometimes they give you melon in between course. If you go to a posh restaurant, you get melons in between the course. It's like a sort of palate cleanser. Or a sorbet. Now that is a good description of this. It is almost light sorbet. Oh, I'm enjoying that. I really am enjoying that. Something a little bit special there, and it's great that I've not tried Track Brewing before, but I'm definitely going to seek out more of their beers because that has an element of difference. I can't tell you how soft and light it is. Fruity with oranges and citrus, lemons, limes, bit of melon. It's so light and refreshing. It's really nice. And for a 7% IPA, there was no way you would think that was a 7% beer. Sometimes I speak to some of my friends and they say, oh, you're trying 7-8%, and they think, oh, it's going to be too strong, or I'm not going to like it. That tastes like it's a very light flavoured, juicy beer, and it's just very, very refreshing and very, very pleasant on the palate. Great beer. I'm going to sit back and put some scores together for you guys. We'll be back in about 8 seconds. Let's get some scores. The scores are in for Track Brewery, and it's called Going to the Sun. I mean, it's quite an apt name, that Going to the Sun, because it just feels like summer to me, and it makes me a little sad because summer is pretty much over. The weather, the temperatures today have dropped like a stone, and summer is officially over in my mind. Luckily, we haven't got the heating on just yet, though. So, first things first, aroma. If it's one thing I'm a bit disappointed was the aromas with this beer, because yes, there's a sort of fruity, orangey, sort of zesty sort of smell there, but they're quite subtle, and I think it's because it's such a light beer in terms of how it feels in the mouth that the aromas just don't jump out at you. So 13 out of 20 for aroma. Appearance, it's a damn good, nice looking, hazy yellow. You can see the head is, and the lacing of the glass there is incredible. So I'm giving it 8 out of 10 for appearance. And then flavour. Oh my God. I've really enjoyed it, and it's maybe because I've drank quite a lot of supermarket beers, but you can see that this sort of beer is a step up. There's just something about it. I can't quite put my finger on it. There's something about it. But one thing to note is that it's so soft and light in the mouth. I don't know if it's something to do with those jumbo oats, but it is really like, you know, it is like it's a real palate cleanse. It's almost like I'm going to go for that. That'd be the beer I'm having between two other beers, because it's just beautiful to drink. Really, really flavoursome. It's got that very much the citrus and orangey sort of flavours. That's the big sort of hit when you first drink it, and then then you get that sort of subtleness of melon, which is, you know, melon is not generally a really massively strong flavour, but it just sits on the mouth and just goes down a treat. It's a beautiful flavour. 36 out of 40 for that. Value for money, as I said, about four. I think it might have even been just under £4. You know, it's almost competing with those supermarket beers. So I'm giving it 8 out of 10 for value. And then my overall experience, I've really enjoyed it. You probably noticed I'm giving it a 16 out of 20. It's a cracking beer. There's no way that you would believe that this is 7% because it's so light and fluffy. It's like, you know, it's like dancing on a cloud, this is. And we tighten those scores up. We're getting a very solid, a very, very good, highly recommended even 81 out of 100. You know, 80. If you're in the 80s, you're an Iron Maiden beer. And after our last, when we were ranking the albums, there was a lot of controversy. But this is a low-level Iron Maiden. So, Adam, if you're watching this beer is a Children of the Damned, which is a damn fine song. But maybe I didn't mention that. I said it was average, so I apologise. But if you like Children of the Damned by Iron Maiden, you're going to damn right like this beer. Give it a try. You see it in your bottle shops. If you see Track, give them a try. Have you tried any Track? Is there other Track beers I should be trying? Let me know in the comments, and we'll see you in the next video. So until then, keep on rocking.